Hey folks, your product has defects. Now that's probably not a surprise to you. It's probably also not a surprise to you that defects are the major enemy to productivity, customer satisfaction, and profitability. As such, one of your most important jobs, a job that never ends, is the constant pursuit of zero defects. But in order to do that, we first got to identify and quantify the source of defects. So how do we do that? Well, buckle up. I'm Danny Small, the Engineer-vator, and this is another episode of Principles of Lean Construction. Today we're talking about defects, their source, and how we can eliminate them. It turns out that the major source of defects is variance in the process. In other words, inconsistency. The statistical term for this is standard deviation, which measures the average distance of a data point from the average of all the data points. In other words, how widely dispersed the data is or tightly clustered. So as you can imagine, if you've got widely dispersed results, you're going to have more and more of those results that are outside your specification, or in other words, have defects. Now, the first step to eliminating these defects, we need to confirm that we've got what's called a functioning process. We need to verify that the average of our results is within our spec. Because if our average is outside the spec, reducing variance around that average simply means that we've got more consistent, defected product. So instead, we need to verify that we've got a functioning process, get our average within the specification. Then by reducing our variance, we're then reducing our defects as a result. Some common sources of variance in your process may be your raw materials. You may be receiving inconsistent raw materials or inconsistencies in the timing of your material receipts. You may have variance in the way that a project is managed by one superintendent versus another project under another superintendent. Many things can cause variation in your process, and all these variations add up to higher and higher risk of defects at the end. What have you observed in your operation as far as variation? What are some other sources of variation that you've seen? And what are your ideas for reducing variation in your process? If you'd like to talk about variation, standard deviation, and how I can help you to reduce variation and the resultant defects, give me a shout. I'd love to talk with you about it. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, stay safe and keep building. Take care.